I'm not a complicated guy. Give me strong coffee, decent Wi-Fi, and a partner who doesn't abandon me in another country for laughs. Apparently, that last part was too much to ask. My wife Sabrina and I were in Cancun. I woke to sunlight sliding through white curtains, reached for her, and found cold sheets. No suitcase, no sandals, no hat, just a text blinking on my phone. It was hilarious. "You should have seen your face while you were sleeping." Hotel reception cheerfully confirmed she'd checked out at 3 a.m. "Separate travel plans," they said. The airline confirmed the punchline. She'd moved my return ticket to next week and taken the 6 a.m. flight home. Her follow-up text, "Don't worry, I'll pick you up next week. Miss you." Abandonment apparently was a prank now. I staggered to the lobby bar for coffee that could strip paint and met Susan Morales, a travel writer with a laptop covered in snarky stickers and the exact energy I needed. Calm, competent, unbothered. When I told her what happened, she didn't blink. "First tacos," she said. "Then we fix your life." In an hour, she'd found me a budget hotel, showed me how to petition the airline for a change, and led me to a taco stand that realigned my soul. She also gave me the first good advice I'd heard in years: don't respond. Let Sabrina sit in silence. So I did. For days, Sabrina's texts cycled through every phase of manipulation. "Relax. It's a prank." "Then why aren't you answering?" "Then I'm worried." "Then God told me to call you." I turned off notifications and started breathing for the first time in 3 years. With Susan's steady, been there, survived that kindness, I wandered markets and beaches and made a list in a cheap notebook titled "Things I Won't Do Again." Apologize for someone else's chaos. Call manipulation spontaneity, except that's just how I am as a hall pass. Book joint trips without insurance. Too soon, but necessary. The quiet gave me space to remember every red flag I'd painted green. The 40-person surprise Thanksgiving she announced on Facebook. The pottery wheel that killed our Italy fund and became a mail table. The bottle of red wine she dumped on our cream couch. It gives it character. While I scrubbed for a week, friends called. My sister Grace raged. Daniel, my best friend, cheered me into boundaries. Everyone said the same thing. "You've been her cleanup crew. Stop." On day 5, under fairy lights strung between palm trees, I admitted something to Susan. I hadn't missed Sabrina once. "I missed peace." Susan clinked her glass against mine. "That tells you everything." The internet agreed. Sabrina posted a vague status about communication in marriage. People asked what happened. She told them like it would help. I changed his flight as a joke to give him alone time. The comments were biblical. Family, friends, even her co-workers. "Girl, you abandoned your husband in Mexico." Stories poured in. Parking tickets, empty gas tanks, borrowed things returned broken. The dam broke. The pattern showed. I didn't feel vindicated. I felt tired and then lighter. On day 8, I allowed myself one delicious bit of petty symmetry. I texted, "Thanks for this. Susan has been the sweetest." 71 missed calls later, I finally answered. "Who is Susan?" she sobbed. "The person making sure I eat and don't fall apart." While I processed the fact my wife thought international abandonment was comedy. "You're being cruel." The old me would apologize right now for your feelings. He's on vacation. "Are you cheating on me?" "Relax," I said. "It's just a prank." And I hung up. I stayed in Mexico longer than planned. My boss told me to work remote and take the time. Without Sabrina's constant emergencies, my job felt easy. Breakfast with Susan turned into beach sunsets and a rhythm that didn't need labels. Silence with her was just silence. No plotting, no bracing. Back home, Sabrina's reputation collapsed under the weight of her own story. Even her boss messaged me, "If she treats clients like this, we'll be having a talk." Her mother, formerly head of excuses, wrote to apologize for enabling her. Then Sabrina filed for divorce, announced online as the hardest but right decision. Chaos Goblin to the end. My relief was immediate and uncomplicated. I hired a lawyer. I scrolled apartments that didn't need to accommodate pottery wheels. I phoned my family without performing. I kept writing in my notebook what I won't do anymore, what I want now. Work I'm proud of. People who ask instead of assume. Trips that are planned, not weaponized. Peace that doesn't feel like guilt. On our last week of sunsets, Susan asked, "What do you want when you go back?" "I want to wake up and not scan for a crisis," I said. "I want breakfast with laughter. I want this version of me to come home." "Achievable," she said. "Real life is just the life you choose on purpose." The night before I booked my flight, Sabrina texted, "I hope you're happy. You got what you wanted." I stared at it, then deleted it. There was nothing left to explain to someone who heard only herself. Here's the truth I found between tacos and Tide. Sabrina thought leaving me was a joke with me as the punchline. But the second she took off at 6 a.m., she freed me. From fixing, from excusing, from carrying a backpack of someone else's mess labeled love. On a balcony above the ocean, I wrote the last line in my notebook. Next time, I escape on purpose. And for the first time in years, I meant every word.